listen, this is very important because hey, who doesn't want copies of their trust documents in paper? But what happens when you are forced to do everything via paper? And we're living in a day and age where we have all of these modern conveniences. What happens is because it takes you more time than you want it to take, you might never do it at all. So you want to have it set up to where you have an option to do ease of use. Listen, we may still get all of the documents signed traditionally, but if you have something come up where you need to get it taken care of yourself, you don't want to have to wait on the attorney, or it's something very simple, very easy, you can just go ahead and get it electronically signed without having to deal with paper, without having to deal with additional things. Also, typically, a valid last will and testament must be dated and signed by the testator, the person whose estate is being distributed through the will, in the presence of two witnesses who are not related to the testator and who do not stand to inherit from the will, sometimes referred to as a disinterested witness. To create a valid trust, the grantor, also sometimes referred to as the settlor or trustor, should appear personally before a notary public to acknowledge he or she was the signer of the trust document. However, and this is Nevada statute 133.085 and 163.0095, now provide that in Nevada, a will and trust may be drafted, signed, and even witnessed and notarized electronically or virtually and still be valid. Once again, I'm not telling you that you have to situs your trust in Nevada. My main purpose for letting you know about this is to teach you about the term jurisdictional shop and to let you know that you are not limited to situsing your trust in the state that you live in, and you do have options, right? But let's just go a little deeper, right? This is another Nevada statute, 163.0095, and this goes into detail about it. Electronic trust requirements, conversion into a certified paper original, and destruction of electronic record. Regardless of the physical location of the settlor, an electronic trust must be deemed to be executed in the state and will be governed by the laws of this state and subject to the jurisdiction of the courts of this state if the electronic trust is A, transmitted to and maintained by a custodian designated in the trust instrument at the custodian's place of business in this state or at the custodian's residence in this state, are maintained by the settlor at the settlor's place of business in this state, or at the settlor's residence in this state, or by the trustee at the trustee's place of business in this state, or at the trustee's residence in this state. Apparently, it has to be in this state. In this state that they're referring to is Nevada. And if you want, you can, check out the Nevada statutes in order to pull this stuff up, right? So basically, once again, I'm just letting you know that you have options. If you like, just Google what are the benefits to situsing my trust in Nevada, uh, and that can help you out. Now, I want to make sure that y'all understand this. There are no trust police. And what do I mean by that? Now, we can build the most beautiful, complex trust rules that we can dream of. It's only as good as the successor trustee is able to understand and implement it. Some of these trustees that you choose are people that like, and trust, but maybe they might not have the capacity to do what you expect them to do. And even if they do have the capacity to do what you expect them to do, sometimes taking on that responsibility ostracizes them and alienates them from the rest of the family and the friends, because all they're trying to do is follow your wishes. But these people, they don't understand that, and now nobody doesn't talk to anybody, and they haven't talked for the past 5 Christmases, right? Sometimes, depending on how complex it is, or if you're somebody who understands when you first bestow this honor, because it is an honor. When you name somebody as a trustee or successor trustee of your estate, they should take it as an honor, because you are the person that they are the person that you trusted the most, that you thought was the most responsible. But after about the first year, it's an honor, and they're excited, they're proud. This they really respected me, and they really thought a lot of the way I handle myself and do business. At first, you're proud, but after year 2, 3, it starts to become too much. And because there's no trust police, either this person is not going to do what you're saying that they're supposed to be doing as your trustee, or they're going to just completely dissolve it altogether. So a lot of people might decide to utilize a corporate trustee, and especially if you're somebody that lives in another state and you are looking to situs your trust in Nevada. Remember, you have to have your successor trust actually administered by somebody who is living in the state. So a corporate trustee would be your option. Usually corporate trustees, they charge an average of 1 to 3% of whatever the estate is. Now it could be more, it could be less, right? Depending on who you work with. But just know the main thing is you're more than welcome to name a, a person as your trustee, but you definitely need to understand that you have the option of utilizing a corporate trustee if you want it, which is like a business that does this. This is all they do. And also, you have the option of having them listed as a contingent. Let's say that your primary trustee is a flesh and blood entity, but you want to list your corporate trustee. If that person is unwilling or unable to do their duties as this trustee, then that corporate trustee can come into play. Now, here's what I see a lot of people do that you probably shouldn't do. If you're going to name a person, name one person. Don't get in here because you got 2 kids. You make one the 50% primary trustee and the other the 50%. What happens when you have 2 people that are in charge of making the decision? A lot of times nothing gets done. One person has to be in charge, and it can cause a lot of fights with them trying to figure out what's supposed to be done next.